The center of the ancient Greek world was the Aegean Sea. Although the Mediterranean contained many culturally diverse peoples, it can be understood as a single geographical system, and for the Greeks, the Aegean was its heart. One of the most distinctive features of the Greek mainland was its climate. Rainfall was limited during the summer months, but winters were mild and brought significantly more rain. On average, Greece received 6 to 10 inches of rain in summer and around 20 inches in winter. As a result, the winter months constituted the primary growing season in the Greek world, unlike in river-based civilizations such as Egypt and Mesopotamia. The topography of Greece was even more significant. The land is rugged and broken, shaped by tectonic uplift that continues today. Earthquakes remain common in both Greece and western Turkey, and volcanic activity persists in parts of the Aegean. Mountains dominate the landscape, dividing the land into many small valleys and leaving very few broad plains. Although these mountains are not exceptionally high, Mount Olympus, for example, rises to just over 10,000 feet, compared to Pikes Peak's 14,000 feet. They were still formidable barriers in antiquity. Because of this terrain, only about 20% of Greece's land was suitable for agriculture. Much of the soil was thin and limestone-based, making farming difficult. Hilltops were typically covered with shrubs and were useful primarily for grazing sheep and goats or for producing charcoal. Agricultural resources were therefore limited and unreliable. By contrast, mineral resources were more dependable. Greece possessed high-quality clay deposits, which supported a strong pottery industry, an essential economic activity in the ancient world. There were also important metal resources, including silver mines near Athens and iron deposits in regions such as Sparta. The rugged terrain made overland travel extremely difficult, especially across the Greek mainland. This explains the isolated settlement patterns visible in Greek prehistory and helps account for their persistence well into historical times. It also explains why the Greeks became a seafaring people. Travel by sea was far easier than crossing mountains, and the sea provided opportunities for trade, raiding, migration, and colonization. Geography also shaped how the Greeks understood themselves and their identity. A Greek generally saw himself first as a member of a local community, not as part of a unified nation. Loyalty was directed primarily toward one's city-state, or polis. An Athenian, for example, identified himself first as an Athenian, not simply as a Greek. Only in moments of external threat did Greeks emphasize their shared identity as Hellenes, united by language, culture, and religious tradition. For most of their history, however, Greece was not a single country or nation, but a collection of independent and often competing city-states. This political fragmentation rooted in geography would become one of the defining characteristics of Greek civilization and would profoundly influence Greek politics, warfare, culture, and thought.